EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the great cities of the world, London, England. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Another nice catch there by Garrett Wilson, who's off to a really nice start in his NFL career. He was Rookie of the Year in 2022, and in 2023, his second 1,000-yard season. He's looking for an even bigger leap this year with Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback throughout the entire campaign.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers. And he'll find Hall. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Rodgers to throw once more. Complete. It's Johnson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Breece Hall, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Faking the give, Darnold. This one swung out here to Jones. And a hard tackle there as he'll go down after a gain of about 5. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
To throw is Rodgers. His pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
If I'm playing quarterback against this team, after what I saw on film where they had 5 picks last week, all I'm thinking about is taking care of the football, being very careful with it, and making sure I see my guys.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Play action. It's Darnold. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
The Vikings had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. And the Jets D, they call on a couple extra defensive backs on third. Here's Darnold.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now. And back deep, Deontay Johnson.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 43 yards from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. Connection made to Ruckert. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. Their tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Running the ball can be a struggle in this part of the field. In fact, it's a perfect spot for defenders to pin their ears back and try and work upfield, and they capture him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From his own goal line, Darnold. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Pass taken in by his big tight end, and he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Javon Kinlaw. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Darnold. Tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that. But I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
26.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a handoff to Chandler. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Now it's Darnold. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Off of play action, Darnold. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Darnold. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Ty Chandler, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Counter play. Here's Chandler.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Back to throw, Darnold. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Here's Darnold. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. It could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Well, pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. They flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. That's it for the 1st half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Darnold.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Here we go on 4th down.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
Faking the give, Darnold.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 25 yards that time.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
Darnold down to throw. And quick throw here, that's complete.
And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as he'll take this down to the 26.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's Chandler.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
A play fake, and it's Darnold. This one swung out here to Jones. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop it before he could get to the marker.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this third quarter. A two-score lead down to one now following the pick six.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. Back to throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. Still fighting for more. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there. And he did a lot of that on that play.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Play action. It's Darnold. And that is on the right side.
Hey, how did he not catch that?
The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Yikes.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They run it with Chandler. 61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Sam Darnold His third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Wilson's got it complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake. Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And now meanwhile after the on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now Chandler. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
A play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get-it-in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
They'll try and run for it. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now.
Let's go.
There's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give to Hall up the middle. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A first throw here for the backup Taylor. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And 3rd and 8 now. Off the play fake. Here's Taylor. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Chandler. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Complete. Jefferson the target. Pushing through tacklers at the 30. And he's going to get this inside the 30. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And Darnold wants to throw the football. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Here's second and a yard. Now Taylor. They'll roll him out right. That's caught by Wilson. And he'll have a first down, but a great tackle there keeps him from getting to the boundary. Taylor. And this one too low.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
One last shot for Taylor. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
How you got back there? What he did.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover.